Hi everyone. Since my screen says it, I'll start out by saying Happy New Year. Welcome back to the grind again. And this particular video is going to be done for the Unix course. And what I'm really interested in is just making sure you guys know how to get and set up your virtual machines. So sometime this week, I really want you guys to make sure you get these particular files. They're really big, so um, just keep that in mind. So let's start off. Um, First thing you'll notice is um, in your course notes, you're going to see a thing in the course information section about installing your virtual machine. For installing your virtual machine, the basic steps are listed here. So first you have to download and install the VirtualBox software. Then you need to download your virtual machine, unzip your virtual machine, then you gotta have to go through the process of importing it and start it up to make sure everything worked, and how to log into your virtual machine. Now, the way you go ahead and log into your virtual machine, like what are your usernames and passwords, all that information and the actual links to download the virtual machines themselves can be found at this particular link here. So it's on my main web page, the spot where you used to go to log into my vRoom before. That vRoom information is still up there, but if you go until you find the Linux course section right here, you'll notice that there's some other stuff here. So what we're running is we're running Fedora 16, so that's the most current copy of Red Hat's Linux operating system. By the time we finish the course, they will probably be up to 17. I can't remember the exact date 17 is supposed to be out. If not just after we finish the course, they'll be after getting to version 17. But that's the nature of this particular distribution. There's 2 updates every year. The last update occurred in November, I do believe. So we're trying to keep things as up to date as possible for you. You'll note that there's going to be three um, users associated with your machine to start off with. There's going to be this root user here. There's also going to be the Edward B user and a user called owner. Now, these are the users that are installed by default. I leave the Edward B one there because it's just one I always set up when I go ahead and start to configure stuff. But just in case something weird goes on, that gives me a way to get into the system, or it gives us a backdoor into the system if we need be. So we're not going to use that particular account. You will see that we have the root user password is set to password01, capital P, and the owner is set to password01, again, capital P. For most of what we're doing, you want to be logging in as the owner, not as the root user. You'll also see there's two virtual machines. One is Fedora 16.zip and one is Fedora 16 install.zip. The second one is just an empty virtual machine all ready to go for you to do an install, and we'll be doing that in either Unit 2 or 3. Can't really remember off the top of my head. The other one, this is the one we're going to do most of our work on. And the reason I want you guys to do your work on that one is I know that one's the same for everybody. So if there's a weird setup problem, then everyone should have the same setup problem, so it makes troubleshooting stuff a little bit easier. So I ask that you try to use that one instead of even downloading or doing your own, um, which I'm more than support you guys doing. If you want to play around with Linux for a while, just let me know. Actually, one of my favorite things to do is to play around with Linux. So, to download either of these files, just keep in mind, well, this one's not very big because it's just an empty shell. This one here is a little over a gig, so it's going to take a while. We just simply click on them, wait for the download to occur. We'll know the download is ready to roll. After we click on it, it will be downloaded. In my case, it's in this directory here. So what I want to do next is I want to unzip this file. So for me to unzip this file, I just need to right click on it and say extract all. And I should bring that over so it's in my screen. So it's just saying, do you want to extract this to here? I'm going to say extract. At this point, you see I now have this this file that's been in a subdirectory. So it's kind of one subdirectory down. So when I come to use, oh, that was what I wanted there. When I come to use something here, what I want to do now is I want to import that virtual machine. So I'm going to say File, Import Virtual, or Import Appliance. I'm going to choose, and I'm going to go to where I unzipped that. Now I unzipped that from this particular folder right here. Okay, this is the file I'll need to click on. I'm going to click on the Open button. Then I'm going to click on Next. It's going to have some different things here for me to tag into. I can actually play around with the name of some stuff as I'm moving along. So the name here, I think it'll let me change it. So I'll call this one video example. And then all I have to do is click on the import. If you wanted to play around with some of your settings, you can play around with them here. The defaults should be good for most of you. If they're not, we'll talk about it as we move along. You can see now the spot where I named video example is here, and to start this virtual machine, all I have to do now is to click on this start button here. Now, before I do anything, I should show what that comes up like. So when that that's going to give me a dialog box that's going to come up. That's going to ask me if I want to run this first run wizard. When I say next, I can decide where exactly I'm going to be installing this thing to. And then it gives me my summary of what I'm going to do, and then I'll hit start. Now in this particular case, it's now trying to start my virtual machine. Let me show you what that looks like here. I thought I had all the set to open up in the right spot. Now you see right now this one, because this is my installable version one, it kind of got mad at me and said, hey man, I don't know what to do, and splat. So we're good with that because that's the install disk. I'm going to show you what it comes up like in the other variant now in a couple of seconds. So again, I hope you guys all had a good Christmas. Let me just power that one off. And I'll have another video ready in a couple of minutes of showing you guys just the ins and outs of running the virtual machine itself. So I will talk to you again soon. Let's go back to my desktop here. And again, Happy New Year, everybody.